Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Juliana. This video is about certain high-value habits that I think all classy people implement in their lives, and I wanted to do a video on this topic to kind of pair with the previous videos that I've done on how to look classy, because I definitely think that a classy individual is so much more than just how you look or the looks you were born with. A person who is classy will have a sense of quiet confidence and this sort of effortless charisma. Now, I don't have any kind of certification to confirm that I am classy, and it's not that I think that everyone in the world has to strive to be classy, but I mean, if you clicked on this video, that's probably what you're looking for. Whether being specifically classy or not, I do think that everyone should strive to be the best version of themselves. And if you're new to my channel, I created this channel as a space for us to all find our personal style and ways to elevate our lives. So if that interests you, definitely subscribe and join the family. Alright guys, so for this video, let's first define what classy means. I think the notion of someone who is classy can have a lot of different interpretations, so here's mine. I think it means treating others as well as yourself with respect and grace. A classy individual is someone who prioritizes their growth and is always trying to learn new things. And this kind of self-care and self-development is so that they can in turn give more to others. And in general, they have a very calm and collected demeanor that makes it easy to be around them. And like I mentioned earlier, being classy does definitely have an appearance component, but I think class and sophistication do more with how well groomed you are and your personal style, rather than if you're the prettiest or youngest person in the room. This is partly why I like the idea of striving to be classy or to be sophisticated, because it takes the focus off of the looks we were born with. And honestly, in today's society, striving to be pretty is too vague a metric. Like, I don't know about you guys, but it always feels like beauty standards are changing at a very rapid pace. So even if you're the prettiest person for a little while, soon the beauty standards will revert and totally flip. So it's a lot more sustainable to build your personal brand and yourself just internally instead. And also things like micro trends kind of make it impossible to keep up, especially if you tie your self-worth to being very trendy. I think being classy instead is really the opposite because it's timeless. I did do a video on how to dress classy in the classy girl style, and I'll make sure to link that in my description. But yeah, the point of this video is going to be more about building a classy persona. In other words, how you carry yourself and the habits you consistently practice. So habit number 1, which is to use proper language. This has a lot of different parts. First, it's really important to become more aware and reduce your usage of filler words. Using excessive filler words like or all of these can make you seem less sure of yourself. And when you use a lot of filler words, it kind of breaks up your message, so it dilutes whatever you're saying. All of these combined can make you seem less confident. And I think a lot of us can tend to be scared to let a moment pass in silence. Say someone calls on you in a classroom setting and you pause. It can often feel pretty uncomfortable, but when you do them intentionally, having pauses can actually give you more presence. So when you don't know what to say, try practicing adding a brief but intentional pause, rather than just jumping to fill the space with a filler word. I mean, at the end of the day, we all use filler words, and especially in conversation, they can make things more casual, so they're not totally bad. I think another component are swear words. Swearing can have its benefits, let's be honest. It can help to release tension, and it's often comedic, but it's undeniable that a classy person won't tend to swear often and will refrain from using vulgar language. A third part to this point is not using overly complicated jargon. Now, I don't think that most of us have this issue in our normal everyday life, but when we're trying to impress others, we can fall into this trap of using really big vocabulary and complicated jargon. And while there's definitely a time and place for that, such as in a presentation or an interview, in daily conversation, it doesn't come off as sophisticated and can even seem obnoxious to some. If you speak to others in an overly complex manner, you can risk coming off as high-nosed and alienating others. So at the end of the day, ultimately you should stick to your natural way of speaking. Just focus on simplifying your message and communicating with intention. The next tip relates more to self-development and is to make self-improvement an active part of your daily routine. To me, the predominant personality trait of a classy person is confidence, but if you don't feel like this is you, one of the most powerful ways to build your confidence is to show up for yourself. If you demonstrate that you can actually follow through with the goals that you set, you'll cultivate a sense of trust and inner confidence within yourself. I've been able to grow my confidence by improving skills that I know that I will use in my everyday life. And the best way that I've been able to consistently learn and practice skills is by using Skillshare. I want to thank Skillshare for partnering with me on this video. Skillshare is the largest online community for creatives. You can basically find courses on any topic that you're interested in. So topics like film, productivity, drawing, and design. Personally, I've always wanted to learn graphic design, and I really enjoyed taking this course by Daniel Scott on the essentials of Adobe Photoshop. Each lesson has bite-sized videos, which has been so amazing and so much less intimidating to fit it into my daily schedule. And I'm so excited that you guys can try this out for yourselves as well. The first 500 people that use my link in the description will get a free month trial of Skillshare. So thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys so much for all the love you show my sponsors. Alright, now the third habit relates to money, and it's to not be overly showy with wealth. I know if you're not super rich right now, you might not feel like this tip applies to you, but this tip is actually most relevant to those of us that are trying to grow our wealth or build financial security. It can be tempting, especially on social media, to kind of project the best version of yourself. A truly classy person doesn't have to flaunt their wealth because they don't feel like they have anything to prove. This means that you don't have to be decked out in only designer items to look classy. In fact, too many labels can be seen as tacky or obnoxious to some. Of course, this is not me saying that owning designer items is bad, and luxury items often have better construction and last longer. So don't get me wrong, this isn't a knock to designer or luxury, but if you base your entire personality and style only on these items, it may actually do the opposite of your intention, in that it may actually make you look less confident and less classy. So a classy person will focus instead on building their wealth through investing and building their financial knowledge. Okay, habit number 4. You want to have strong grooming and hygiene habits. This seems like a pretty basic piece of advice, but a classy person will always have great hygiene. I also made a video on grooming habits that I think everyone should know and practice, which I'll link in the description. But to give you a rundown, you should have an established skincare routine as one of the main ways to take care of yourself and your well-being. Opt for natural fibers in your clothes, as these tend to lay on the body better and appear more tasteful. They'll also prevent odor and allow your skin to breathe. A classy person will have a signature scent that they're associated with. And also on the more hygiene side, it's important to find a deodorant that works well with your body and neutralizes any body odor before you spray on your perfume. In terms of hair, I think it's very important to have a polished hairstyle. Polished as in it doesn't have to be straight and sleek, but it should be definitely brushed out and defined. So yeah, it's not really a one-size-fits-all in terms of hair, and honestly in terms of style. The 5th tip is another appearance-based habit, and is to, of course, dress well, but also dress for the occasion. I speak about this more in my video on how to dress classy, but a big part of what makes a person look classy is that they seem effortlessly put together. So they can be either really casual or really dressed up, but their outfit and their entire ensemble looks authentic to them. So they'll just look polished whether they're going to the gym, going to the office, or grabbing a coffee. And a great way to do this for yourself if you don't feel like you want to spend hours just going through your closet is something that I like to call putting your wardrobe on autopilot. What I mean by this is keeping only the pieces in your closet that you like and actively work well together. The easiest way to achieve such a cohesive closet is to use more neutral colors and less patterns. You can go one step further and create a sort of capsule wardrobe, but personally I think it can be unrealistic for all of life's occasions. Which brings me to the second point in this tip. Even though we want to have a cohesive brand and style, we still want to cater our look and be sensitive to the occasion. It's not always classy to be dressed to the nines at all times. In other words, we just want to know when to tone it down, say at a friend's wedding, as well as when to dress formally or dress it up. Classy style is often timeless and simplistic, so it's meant to go beyond trends and should work around your personal lifestyle. Also, in terms of clothes, your clothes should always be well tailored, in the sense that they should suit your height and body shape. Classy outfits are definitely not always tight, but they should mirror and complement your natural silhouette. This means that anything super oversized or baggy can look less refined. And of course, there's nothing wrong with these types of styles. They just happen to suit different aesthetics that are not the classy style. And in terms of how tight specifically, honestly, I think it comes down to your personal preferences. I think the right amount of tightness is one where you feel like you can move easily. If you feel like you always have to be adjusting things or pulling down your skirt, then it may be a sign that your clothes are too tight. And not in the sense of you're being like too promiscuous or anything, but we definitely want to look confident and comfortable in our outfits, so stick to a tightness that feels most comfortable to you. And one of the best ways to look good in your clothes doesn't actually have to do with your outfits at all, which moving on to the next tip, which is to have good posture. This is honestly one that I can struggle with a bit. Having good posture is one of the most important components of looking classy. Your outfit could be really casual, but it will come off as refined if you have really good posture and a great demeanor. In contrast, even if you had a really fancy outfit on, if you're really hunched over, then you can actually come across as less sophisticated compared to someone who has a more basic outfit. If any of you guys have gone through business school or have done presentation classes, you'd know that most of the presentation is based on your nonverbal body language language rather than what you say. And good posture doesn't have to be complicated or anything. You just want to have your back straight and your shoulders up, back, and down. You want to keep your pelvis aligned with your spine. So that means not slouching, but also not arching your back out excessively. Confident body language will make you appear attractive and assertive. So other things like avoiding crossing your legs and your arms are also really important. And I know this sounds super simple, but it's often forgotten. Bowing your head or looking down at someone can often give the wrong message. The last habit relates to your character, and it's about being polite yet assertive. A big component of this is knowing when to say no. A classy person will have no problem establishing and maintaining their boundaries. I think a lot of us have been taught to be people pleasers, so anything short of always saying yes will come off as rude to others. If you are a lifelong people pleaser, hopefully this can be a mini intervention. I think it's important to realize that other people will push us as far as we let them, and not even in the malicious sense. Say you keep saying yes to going to certain events, even if you just actually want to rest or do something else entirely. The other person may not have any idea that you don't actually want to go, so it is our responsibility to say no or proactively offer up an alternative. Like I mentioned earlier, being classy often means showing up for others as well as yourself. In other words, following through with what you said you would do. If we endlessly give and put others before us, it can be next to impossible to show up for ourselves as well. And that in itself, at least from personal experience, will make you less confident. So to be classy doesn't mean always saying yes and just being as shy and timid as possible. Having the courage to say no will not only bring you the sense of peace, but will allow you to step into this higher version of yourself. Alright guys, that's all I have for you for this video. Again, make sure to check the link in my description if you want to get your first month free on Skillshare. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do a lot of fashion content and style inspo on there. As always, please let me know what kinds of videos you'd like to see next. And yeah, if you like this video, definitely give it a like and subscribe. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!